So I've been playing Polytopia a little bit, and I just wanted to share my strategy of how to use the tiny map, which seems to work for me consistently. So I start with Bardor because you can scale up quite quickly. This is not a perfect game, but this is just hopefully just showing my strategy. So what I try and do is go for the nearest village. So there's usually I play against 3 teams, so it's 4 of us, and I try. So there's usually another village, vacant village near me when I start. So what I try and do at the start is to go around the back, so like move away from the other tribe, and yeah, basically so that they don't see me coming up on that other tribe. But then I want to split them so that they have to make a choice of which village to go for, whether to attack me or whether to go for the other village. So that's what I've done here. I'm going for the other village first. With this one, yeah, I tend to do a lot of pausing while I think about stuff as well. So there'll be a bit of that when I'm doing this. So at the start, because it's a small map, I don't generally go for the explorer at the option at the start. I would go for the upscaling to get the extra star per turn. With this one, I wouldn't normally go for climbing at the start, but because I'm next to mountains here and it looks like they don't have climbing, I just thought it'd be a good one to go with. So with this, because it's a small map, I did try lots of different strategies. One of them was to go for, I was thinking try and get as many stars, get all the tech and try and go for markets and just have a ridiculous amount of money coming in. But it just took way too long and wasn't necessary. So what I actually ended up doing was just basically trying to keep it simple, going for Bardor, forestry, and then mathematics to get the catapults, and then going down sailing to get the bombers, battleships, and then basically leveling up one city so that it can go to get a super unit, and then just basically have the super unit move forward with the catapults and the bomber battleship backing it up. So this is one that I did today. I've just basically recorded now doing the voiceover for it. But yeah, so basically it's the start is the most important, and there's obviously a lot of luck involved in this. So what I'm trying to do here is bring now that I've got the 2 cities, bring all the units forward, so that it generally takes about 3 warriors to overpower a warrior in a city. So at the moment, I'm just trying to basically protect the cities that I've got already, and then build up enough units so that I can sort of spam the neighbour. So yeah, I'm slowly leveling up. It's obviously a choice whether how quickly to level up. Obviously, I haven't got enough. I want to get another unit there, but I don't have enough. So what I'm probably going to do is start to level up the city so that I can get another unit, go for the workshop so I get the extra star per turn, because at the moment I don't need the explorer because I'm just going for that neighbour city, and obviously going from 2 stars to 3 stars is a massive difference. Okay, so now I will start to bring the units forward. So again, what I'm looking to do here is just use the warriors to attack the neighbour, and then the next thing will be to try and, what I would normally do is try and get the catapults in the background, but it looks like I might not need to do that for this one. So again, yeah, surrounding that city here. And one of the things I used to do is I used to just rush and see if I could do it, how quickly I could do it. But I found I just made mistakes and it wasn't enjoyable. So now I really take my time each time that I play and just really think about what am I actually going to do here, instead of just clicking quickly, which is very tempting to do. So as we saw there, it took 3 warriors to overtake a a city there with just the warriors. So now I'll go for mathematics. So basically, I always have get the mathematics. So I have the catapult at the back, and then moving units forward. I would generally try and, because every time you claim a city, it costs more in the tech. So I'll try and level up in the tech before I claim a city, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm trying to decide: what do I want to do with my stars? Do I want to use them to level up first? Thinking, do I want to go for organization because there's a lot of fruit there, or do I want to go to sailing to get on the water first so that I can start to move forward and see what's going on? Again, it's an either or type of situation. Looks like I've gone for sailing here so that I could just see what's going on. I find often I play the continents mode, and it's usually split into two halves or split into halves with the map, but that's not always the case. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of variety and luck where your first village is placed. I've found if your village is placed right in the middle of the map and you have two other societies, whatever you want to call them, groups attacking you, it's just, you can't, it's just too hard. There's only so much you can do, particularly if you've got one village and you've got like two other, people coming at you. Here I was just being cheeky, thought, okay, I'll try and get this. They push forward with their riders, so I thought I'll give that a go. I should be able to defeat a rider. Let's see how that goes. And again, I'll put a catapult there, which will be able to reach the city. So basically, that'll be able to clear out that area. Here, I decide to go on the water to see what's going on. I find map visibility is really important, so I'll try and go for a scout just to see what's going on, particularly when I'm using the catapults, because the catapults can hit from a distance. So if I can't hit anything unless I can see it. So I've gone for the scout here so that I can move forward to see what's going on. So yeah, I think obviously had the unit there. So I'm overtaking that, use the catapult to clear it out, and then move forward. Hopefully being able to overtake it next turn. So here I'm trying to decide what to do with the stars. I'm thinking, do I want to use fishing to level up the cities? I found that hanging back and leveling up the cities, I found if you can spend a lot of stars and takes a lot of time to do that, whereas just the other societies are building up at the same time as well. So if you take too long, they'll get up to giants and it's just going to be harder, and they'll have city walls and things like that. So it's better to try and push forward and not level up the cities too much. So yeah, just basically trying to get to them before they get too advanced. So now I'm slowing down a bit because I'm trying to think about what am I going to do with my limited amount of stars. I think what I'm thinking here is I'm trying to go ahead to try and get closer to getting a giant. Obviously leveling up the cities will give me more stars per turn. And then now this is a big decision as well. Do I want to go for population growth to get the giant super unit first, or get the border growth? So I've decided for border growth on this one because there was a lot of resources available on the neighboring squares. And also it pushes the other side back, so it means that they can't have those squares for the resources as well. And I also like to be able to have the border move forward, particularly over the water, so that they can't put a port in there and move across the water. That can be a good strategy sometimes. So now I'm just trying to decide what to do with the catapult. Obviously, having catapults on a water city is dangerous because, boats can come in and just take it out quite easily. I usually, when I have the catapults, I usually create them and then move them back. But yeah, what I was surprised with here is I took that city, but I didn't destroy their society. So they must have another city or village somewhere. Again, trying to decide what to do. Taking my time, think about it slowly. Am I going to build up? Am I going to go for... I've now got warriors, which can be converted into... I went for the navigation so that I can go for the bombers or battleships. Now trying to decide how do I want to take this small little village? Because obviously I don't have enough firepower to overtake it. Thinking of moving forward or trying to save it to build it up to a battleship. Obviously, it's better for a video if it's moving faster, but I guess this also shows the amount of time I take to do this. I generally find with this strategy that unless one village destroys another village, I'm usually up in the high 90% with this and pretty much win every time when I'm playing against the bots, of course. So now I want to see what's going on over here. I can see a border, so there must be a village there. So now that I've cleared that out, cleared the fog of war, I can use the catapult to put pressure on that village. And I should be able to, if I move it to the side, I should be able to reach that village city. And now I'm moving forward mainly just to see what's going on. Trying to think. So basically, I took a unit out there so that I can hit him and then create another unit to take him out, or that he won't have enough power. And I was also nervous. I was basically wanted to create a catapult here, but was just thinking that rider might be able to hit either that catapult to the right, or if I hit a catapult to the back if I go for it. So what I decided was that I was thinking that this rider is probably just going to try and attack the city and not go for the catapults. Again, I don't have the units, the firepower down the left to overtake that village. If I was to play this game again, I would probably start leveling up. Yeah, here we go. So this is, here we go. I'm starting to level up now. So there's a lot of fruit on the ground. So one block away from leveling up that city. Again, do I want to go for border growth or population growth, going for that super unit? What I'm thinking here is that there's a lot more resources on the ground, and it cuts it off from the neighbours as well, so they can't use those resources. Now I've just got 1 star left to play with. So I guess I'm just seeing what's going on. Here I'll move that unit forward so that I can see what the map looks like. So now that I can see that village, I can come up with a strategy of what to do. So I'll be able to create a catapult in the back to take him out, create a super unit, or maybe some bombers to move forward. So I think now I would try and level up that city, Aksum city, and then bring a catapult in from the back. Yeah, okay, so I'm going for that right-hand side. So I've moved the catapult, which is in range of that village. So that catapult will just be able to take out the guy. And again, this is obviously not the most efficient game, but it's, we all make mistakes and try and work out what we're trying to do. Here I'm obviously looking at which cities have the most stars, and if I wanted to, it's all resource management, these type of games. So it's trying to work out how do I want to use the limited resources. I'm tempted to getting a catapult there, but I need to level up the city first. So I could actually use the gate of power, but I generally like to keep them if I've got plenty of resources for an emergency, if I need to level up quickly, or if I've moved across the water and need to level up to get a giant. Here I'm going for the cheap stuff. These fruit and animals are only 2 stars to give me a unit. And that's giving me a unit. So now what I'll try and do is push forward with the super unit and then back it up with catapults and bombers, battleships. Not sure why I did that. What I should have done there is gone for the yacht. Okay, so now I can start to use a catapult. I was hoping that this, if I upgrade it to a scout, I'll be able to go into the village, but I obviously can't. So I'll just have it at the back so that the scout is thinking about the other things or moving forward and not thinking about, I'm just going to skip into the village. Here I'm thinking about wanting to, this particular scout, their arrows I find really annoying. So I'm thinking if with this unit here, I could level that up and take him out, but it probably won't be enough. And do I really want to spend 15 stars on something which is only got a strength of 2? So I use the scout at the back to hit him, and then use the upgrade him to a scout so that he could take him out. So hopefully in the next turn, he'll most likely create a warrior in that city. I'll take it out with a catapult and then skip in with the scout. And now I can create the catapult at the back to have the backup, have the support for the super unit. Here I'm just moving forward just to see what's going on. And I'm putting in units in here in the blank cities because I can push them into create some type of boat. I've just taken the city on the right. But yeah, I generally try and create these units in the back so that I can create them into bombers. And also the things I really hate are when they have the spies and you have like an empty city and a spy just walks in and you're surrounded by those spies. It's quite annoying. Here I'm just trying to see what's going on. The ruins not as great towards the end. They don't really make that much of a difference. And, makes a little bit of a difference, I guess. It's definitely more rewarding at the start. I obviously have one at the back, which I could have taken. And I think that's why I've created that unit at the back, to be able to go get that. So now I could take that city, but I'm thinking, do I want to level up first, or what do I want to do? How do I want to attack this city? Obviously by moving the super unit forward. Has like the splash damage type of thing. So now that I've got the bomber in the background, I'll be able to clear out the unit so I can move the super unit forward. Here, I think I would be wanting to, so now I'm moving the catapults forward to the main area of where I'm trying to attack. Again, the big decision over population growth. I find all these very difficult. They're both good choices. I think there wasn't much need to go. I was looking here thinking I could probably go for 4, but then it's going to cost me stars. To get up to that level. Or do I want to just go for a super unit? That's what, and here I go for the border growth. Okay, fair enough. I think what I was hoping there was it would give me some of that water, but it didn't. Now just pushing forward with the warriors after having them. Yep. So again, trying to use the units that can fire over a distance from the back and then pushing forward with the warriors. So now I'm obviously got the bomber. It's not so useful getting rid of that unit down there, and I'm aiming to get attack on the left now, so I'm moving everything forward and then just having that warrior in there, because generally the defenders don't attack. So if I just put that warrior in there, they'll be able to hold them off. All right. Okay. Here we go. This should, again, using the bombers to clear it out, taking the resources first, of course. Here I'm trying to decide which bomber to use. No, there, so that one, I wanted to upgrade that, but it's not in my own territory, so I can't upgrade it. I want to move it forward, but there's boats in the way, so I can't do that either. This might seem like I'm just pausing and not doing anything, but I generally think it's worthwhile just stopping a little bit and just thinking about, okay, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? And then just thinking it through instead of just clicking, although I want to do that. Here I'm thinking I can take it out with the warriors and then use a super unit for the thing on the left, city on the left. Just save me a bit of time having the super unit having to walk forward. I think I might say super unit from Advance Wars. I was a big fan of Advance Wars. Here we go. So now I can move this one forward so that I can then once I capture this city, I'll be able to upgrade it. Just doing a bit of house cleaning at the back, just to stop him moving forward. And now, again, just using the bombers to clear everything out, moving the super unit forward. And that's going to be it, I think. It's a bit pointless, but I do like getting the units at the edge. Just feels satisfying. Obviously, you could use them for getting more stars, but again, you'll be able to see that a lot of the cities haven't been upgraded very much. There's only one, and it basically got one super unit, and that's all I needed. But just, yeah, having the bombers and the catapults makes a massive difference. So I think that's it. Take that. destroyed them. And I think what I do here is I'll just show you the tech tree, so you'll be able to see all I've gone for is hunting, forestry, mathematics, sailing, fishing, navigation. Just gone down those paths. It's given me 90%, 3 units lost, 97% in 18 moves. So yeah, seems reasonable. Hope that was helpful.